and welcome back to the channel. I have a shadow on my nose. It's from the sun visor. So that is not actually keeping the sun out of my eyes, is it? It's not actually doing anything. But we are live. Lots of Manchester United updates today. Apologies if you can hear the aircon blowing. It's just too hot today. So in order to do this from the car, we need the aircon on. Also, apologies if I freeze or disappear quickly. I'm trying to buy a Nintendo Switch 2, so every time I get notifications, I'm jumping on the site because I've got like a restock notification set. So yeah, apologies for that. Let me try and move this sun. It's like right on top of me. There we go, that might work. Sunrise is stretched. But yeah, lots of Man United news today. We have a update on the Mbeumo timescale from Fabrizio. Let us know when we're expecting to see that across the line. There is an update in regards to Gyokeres. Quite a promising update too. Good news in regards to Gyokeres. An ex-Manchester United player has been sacked from his current club. There has been an update in regards to Douglas Luiz with Juventus's valuation and the players' wages revealed. So if we do want to make a move for Douglas Luiz, we know how much he's going to cost. There has been a couple of updates from Fabrizio in regards to Andre Onana, Emi Martinez, and Diogo Costa. There has been a deal that looks like it could two deals could potentially be off. One from our players' fault, and one because the club are just going in a different direction. And also, there has been a player more recently, this has just come out not long ago, who apparently Ruben Amorim has given the green light to sign. A player that costs approximately 50 million. So we'll start off from the very start. Fabrizio Romano has given an update on Bryan Mbeumo. He has said, United hope to get the deal done within the next week. So that for me is the first bit that sort of caught me off guard. Originally, I think we were saying it should be any day now. We were waiting for the here we go. Yeah, we were waiting for it. I just had a Nintendo Switch notification, but it's a little early to be jumping around now. So I'll leave that one. We'll skip that one. Hopefully we get the next one. So yeah, United hope to get the deal done within the next week. Not the next day, not the next couple of hours, the next week. So still technically before pre-season, but dragging out a little bit more than we would have liked. At the moment, there is still some work to do on the structure of the deal. The structure of the add-ons, when to activate the pay. When to activate and when to pay the add-ons. There are details of the total package and structure to be clarified for Mbeumo to go to Manchester United. The club is still optimistic, and conversations will continue over the next few days and the weekend between Man United and Brentford. So it has become a little ongoing thing that Brentford staff don't tend to work on weekends. It looks as if Man United are saying they need to. We need everybody in all around the clock. Whether they plan to work or not, they need to be in. Because obviously Man United want to get this across the line before pre-season. Will we get here we go this week? Will it be done before July? What's the date today? Probably not. It's the 27th, right? So July is Tuesday. Will it be done by Tuesday? Who knows? Ben Jacobs has also mentioned Mbeumo. He has said that Manchester United have a medical confirmed for next week. So again, unless that's Monday, I don't think we're going to see this deal done before Tuesday. But even if it's early July, it's still going to be before pre-season. We'll still have two of our new good players in. So we've obviously got Cunha already. He'll be joined by Mbeumo. And we could potentially have both of those holding up the new away kit maybe by this time next week. If everything is done by Friday, I'll be very happy with that. It will be July, obviously, but still before pre-season, so cannot argue with that timescale. It's been long enough now. I just say we get it done. Moving on from Mbeumo for a little bit, we will come back to him. We'll cycle back around. Ebola in Portugal have confirmed that Manchester United are now in pole position to sign Victor Gyokeres. This has also been shared by the Daily Mail in the UK. So we've got a Portuguese news outlet as well as English confirming this. Neither of them are like the best, and it hasn't come from a top tier source. But there's no smoke without fire. So yeah, basically they're saying along the lines of Arsenal have started to sign their players, and it does look as if they are favouring Sesko over Gyokeres. Fabrizio has also added an update to this. He has said Victor Gyokeres has never rejected Manchester United, but he has told Manchester United his priority is Arsenal, mainly because of Europe, where the football club is and where he is in his career. He's basically waiting to see what Arsenal do, but from his side of it, he's 27 now. Arsenal function much better than Manchester United. They seem to be more likely to win something. For him, he's 27. He's not going to wait around forever. He doesn't want to, unless he has to, he doesn't want to be part of a big rebuild for a team that finished 15th. So what he's saying is Arsenal is his first choice, but he has never rejected Manchester United. I just had another Nintendo Switch notification. That's 2 I could have potentially got. I only need 1, but I keep missing them. And now I'm on here, like they haven't been any for like over an hour. Now I'm live, they're all popping up, knowing I can't do it because I'm using my phone. But yeah, Gyokeres is 27. He would rather slot into a team that's pretty much 95% complete, as opposed to going to Manchester United that you may consider 20% complete. There's a big difference. Obviously, he's not getting any younger. He's 27 years old. He wants to be Europe. He wants to win things on the biggest stage. Speaking of Gyokeres, lots of people seem to be sat on both sides of the fence with this one. I'm hearing Man United fans saying we don't want him. We don't want sloppy seconds. We don't want a Coventry player. Like, he was the highest scorer in Europe last year. Like, there's a reason Arsenal potentially want him. There's also a reason they want Sesko, because he's only 22. But how people can think Gyokeres would not be a good signing for Manchester United, I just don't understand. Like, look at how many goals Man United scored last season. Look at how many goals Cunha and Mbeumo scored. And then look at how many goals Gyokeres scored. Would make us so much better. Like, obviously, we'd have people like Bruno behind them. And like Bruno even, his assist stats are pretty crazy considering we don't score goals. So like those 3 as a front 3, I just don't see why people don't want it. It's just ideal. And like people are saying, no, we don't want him. He's a Swansea reject. He's a Coventry reject. Have you seen how many goals he scored last season? Have you seen how many goals Manchester United scored last season? Like, we need him. If we can get him, we definitely need him. But like I said, it does need to wait and see what Arsenal do. If they do go for Sesko and get him over the line, it does open the door for Manchester United. But again, lots of people are following this situation. So even though Manchester United have come out early because of Amorim and declared interest, who knows what other Champions League teams are watching this? Like, Arsenal could go for Sesko, which could open the door to Liverpool, Newcastle, Chelsea, all throwing a bid in for Gyokeres. And they've all got Champions League, even like Aston Villa in the Europa. I know they don't really have the money for it, so it is unlikely. But there's no guarantee he'll come to Manchester United, even though, obviously, Amorim is apparently the person who gave him his chance. And he's never said no to Manchester United. Even if Arsenal say no, there's still no guarantee. We're not definitely going to sign him. Hopefully we do. He's the one player I would definitely try and sign. But there's no guarantee. Another update coming out of Italy today. Inter Milan are saying that Esposito has earned a first team place. And they're also signing Bonnie. So it's not likely they're going to proceed with the Rasmus Hojlund talk. Again, I don't know how true this is. It is coming out of Italy, but it hasn't been shared by any major sources. So if that deal is off, could we potentially be left with Rasmus Hojlund? And if we are, as long as we don't need the Rasmus Hojlund money to do anything, I'm absolutely fine with him staying. I did say on a couple of videos ago, if we sign Gyokeres, we need another striker. We can't just do Gyokeres on his own. Same with like when we signed Hojlund. We need backup. We need extra support. So even if we do sign Gyokeres and then Hojlund stays, I'm absolutely fine for that. As long as Hojlund knows it's a learning curve, he's not going to be starting ahead of Gyokeres, but he can learn from him. I think it's win-win. We don't have to buy another striker. We get to keep Hojlund for at least another season, so his book value will go down in terms of financial fair play. So I don't see any problems with that, really. If we go into next season with Gyokeres and Hojlund, I'll take it. Because I do think there's a good player in there in Hojlund. Once he gets his confidence back, once he learns from an experienced striker, like have him in the team with Gyokeres for a year and see what type of Hojlund we get the season after. I bet none of us all want to sell him at that point. But yeah, that's personally what I would do. As long as the money's not an issue. Like if we need the Hojlund money to make other things happen, obviously we would have to try and sell him. But if there's any way we can sign Gyokeres, get Mbeumo over the line, get a midfielder, maybe a goalkeeper, and keep Hojlund, I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, if Sancho, Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, and anyone else who's potentially listed goes, we'll be fine anyway, because there'll be money going out, there'll be new players coming in. Also, Casemiro, he could potentially go to free up some wages and to get maybe 15 or 20 million in. So yeah, I think there are movements that can be made. We're just being very slow with offloading players. And I don't know if it's because our players are dragging their heels or because other teams don't really want to sign our players or a combination of both. It could be everything. Before I move on, let me just grab a quick drink. I did mention that an ex-Manchester United player has been sacked. It is, of course, Ruud van Nistelrooy. He has been sacked by Leicester. The ex-Man United striker's long expected departure has been confirmed more than 9 weeks after Leicester were relegated from the Premier League. So they've been relegated for 9 weeks. In his departing statement, Van Nistelrooy said he wanted to wish the club well for the future, but their future may not be so great because not only are they now looking to regroup for the second season in the Championship in the last 3 years, they also are going to face a potential points penalty for the upcoming season after being charged for a financial rules breach. So what I don't understand, they knew they were relegated, and realistically, they probably knew that Van Nistelrooy wouldn't be there. So why have they waited till like the start of July, end of June to sack him? He's obviously been on holiday following the season. And imagine he thought he was still in the job. Like, why are they sacking him now? They haven't ever given him a full pre-season, so obviously it's not his team. He went in, was it January around the time we got Amorim? Oh yeah, because Amorim replaced him, right? So I like Van Nistelrooy. I was actually at Old Trafford for his first game against Leicester. And then he went on to manage them. But yeah, he has been sacked. So who knows what's going to happen with him next. Would any Man United fans take him back again if Amorim left? Do we think there's potential there? Obviously, when he managed us, he did look very good. But yeah, good luck in the future, Van Nistelrooy. Douglas Luiz is the next one we're discussing. As I mentioned yesterday, there were quite a few reports linking the Juventus midfielder to us. Today, in a new report, he has been linked to Leeds United. So I'm not really going to talk about the potential of him going to Leeds because I don't really care. But in that report, something that did catch my attention were the numbers. In that report, it says that Juventus are looking for £21 million for a midfielder, which is crazy because I'm sure a season ago, Villa bought him for double that. So he's depreciated by half his value in 1 year. Like, what the hell's happened in Italy? But also, something I thought was very interesting, at Juventus at the moment, he's currently on £82,000 a week, which compared to some of our players would be absolutely pennies. So what I want to present to you guys, if we can get Douglas Luiz for 80, 90, 100k a week, is that worth doing? Is he good backup? Like, if he can stay injury free, we know he's Premier League proven. We've seen him at Villa. I don't know what's happened over the last year, but if we can get him for like under 100k a week and he's only 21 million, is he worth it for squad depth for a backup player? He's great at set pieces. He's 27 years old, so he's still potentially got, I don't know, 2-3 years at his best. Should we go for it? And also, why are Juventus looking to get rid of him so quickly? He seems like he's being offered to everybody. What's gone wrong at Italy? I haven't seen enough Juventus games to know. But he's great at set pieces. For that price, if we can get him for like 90k a week, because he's going to want an increase, maybe 100k, is that worth it? 100k a week for a midfielder who could potentially be good. He's going to contribute more than the likes of Eriksen and a couple of other people. So is it worth taking a punt on? Personally, for a squad player, I wouldn't mind if we can use him in some type of rotation. Because if you think about the midfield, We're probably going to have Bruno playing as a number 8 this season. That means we've got Casemiro, Mainu, if he signs a new deal, Ugarte, Collier. So we do have some midfielders there, even though Eriksen's gone. If we can get Douglas Luiz cheap, I think potentially it could be worth it. But what do you guys think? Drop a comment on this video. Let me know. Would you sign him if you could get a cheap deal? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. What's next? Fabrizio again. He has mentioned Onana and our goalkeeper situation. He has said we are in talks with several goalkeepers. First thing about Onana, he's saying there are no concrete talks, if I get my words out, between Onana and Monaco. So there were reports saying that he may potentially move to France. Apparently no concrete talks yet, but he did say there is a lot of interest from Saudi. And we know that Saudi have been linked to him in the past. Could he go? Who knows? He also mentioned Emi Martinez. He said Emi Martinez definitely wants Manchester United, but Manchester United have not taken this further yet. So we know the player wants to join us. He would love to join Manchester United, apparently. I'm not saying it's a dream move because we haven't heard those reports. But as far as it goes, he would love to join Manchester United. Apparently, nothing has been mentioned between Manchester United and Diogo Costa, although it is also being reported that he's Amorim's #1 choice. If Amorim gets rid of Onana, he wants it to be for Costa. And personally, I agree. I would love Diogo Costa at United. I would also take Martinez over Onana. But out of the three of them, Costa's definitely my first choice. Martinez second. And I don't know, I'll put Harry Maguire in goals for my third choice over Onana. It sounds as if Amorim does want Onana out. It sounds as if Man United also want Onana out. But until Onana leaves, I think we're stuck. I think Man United's concern is if they sign, say, Diogo Costa, who we've been told they want approximately 50 million euros, which is about £42 million. Say we go out and sign him tomorrow. We just say, there's 42 million, we'll take your goalkeeper. And then Onana refuses to leave. We have got a goalkeeper who we massively overpaid for on big wages, who's going to be sat on our bench, probably until his contract runs down. Yes, we'll lose him for the AFCON time. But apart from that, I can't see him I can't see him between the posts unless we get an injury. So Man United's big concern is they don't want to go out and spend that money knowing that potentially Onana may dig his heels in and we'll be stuck with him, which I can agree with. But really, I think we just need to say, the World Cup's coming up. You need game time. We're not going to play you. We suggest you find another club. We want to bring in a new goalkeeper. And then as soon as we get the 42 million, if it's from selling players, we just sign a goalkeeper. Then we've given Onana a warning. If he decides to stay, it's on his own head. He's going to ruin his World Cup chances. But yeah, that's potentially what I would do. I think Costa should be acquired at all costs. Whatever we can do to get him in, I think we should try and do. And personally, I just don't want Onana to stay. What do you guys think? Do you think we can give Onana another season? Or do you think it's time to move him on? I'm hoping we're all on the same page here. But again, a goalkeeper's not that urgent, because if we're going for pre-season, it's not the end of the world. They don't need to be integrated like some players do. I'd much prefer to have our attacking options sorted and sign a goalkeeper just before the window closes. The only reason I think there was a rush on Emi Martinez was so the deal's done in June, because it helps Villa in the financial year. Whereas if it goes after July, it just goes on to next year, so there's no real benefit for them to sell. But again, there's no massive rush. If they said we can wait and maybe sign Costa in August, I would wait, because he is my first choice. And I think he would do the best for us. Speaking of signings that may potentially drag on towards the end of a window, reports online today say that Amorim has told Manchester United to make a move for Atalanta midfielder Ederson, who we also know is valued at about 50 million again, so approximately 42 million pounds. This story is being run by Team Talk, who are quite hit and miss, I feel. Sometimes they're spot on and stuff they report just happens. Other times they talk about, I don't know, Man United signing Mbappe for 4 million, which obviously is never going to happen. But it's not the first time that we've been linked to Ederson. I think we've been linked to a lot of midfielders all season, but he does appear to be the one name that tends to be sticking around. I'm for it and I'm against it. I like Ederson, and I think if we do play Bruno in a number 8 role like we mentioned earlier, he could be good. I think the wages could be a problem, whereas we could potentially get Douglas Luiz for 90k a week. I think Ederson's probably going to be 150 plus, similar to Cunha and people like that. I don't know what I would pay. So after Mbeumo signs, which hopefully will be early next week, should Manchester United prioritise a striker? Because again, that could drag on depending on Arsenal. If Arsenal don't update Sesko or Gyokeres, we could just be waiting and waiting. So instead of going for a striker, should we go for a goalkeeper? Should we go for a midfielder? Like, where should United focus on next? I think we know that Mbeumo is coming. We know that's going to get done. When it's going to be done, we're not sure. We're hoping it's next week, but there's no guarantee. So should we pivot away from a striker? We know we need a striker. And I've said from the start, we need a striker before pre-season. We need a striker for the full amount of time, because we're playing Arsenal first game of the season and we want our striker to be embedded in this team by then. Can we just make a move? Like, is there any chance if we offer Sporting the money, Gyokeres accepts while he's waiting for Arsenal? Or do you think he's going to hold off and wait for Arsenal's actual decision? He's probably going to want to wait, isn't he? But I mean, if we throw the money there and we say now or never like we did to Amorim, is there any chance we get him so we don't have to wait? Pre-season's coming. He's said he's not going to play for Sporting again. It's in his best interest to get out of there. If Arsenal are favouring Sesko, why don't we just throw some money at Sporting and try our luck? Like, why are we waiting all the time? I know we can. It seems like we can only advance with one player at a time, but Mbeumo's nearly there now. We surely don't need to have everybody working on that deal. It has to be nearly done. Speaking of a deal that's not nearly done, Fabrizio has also reported that both Juventus and Napoli cannot reach an agreement on Jadon Sancho's wages. Both clubs have no problem £5 million to Manchester United for the player. Huge issue. Manchester United still want a full sale, but interested clubs, are pushing for a loan, just so part of the salary is covered by Manchester United. So this means, currently where we're at right now, Chelsea, Fenerbahce, Juventus and Napoli have all been willing to pay 25 million for Sancho. They've all said, we want you, here's the money, join us. And every single one of them, greed has taken over. Sancho will not agree to a wage reduction. He is holding out for his big wages, but he still wants to join one of the top 5 leagues in the world, which is insane, because if you want that type of money, jump on a plane and go to Saudi. You'll get your payday. Man United will give a 25 million. Everybody's happy. But he's holding out for a top 5 league on the wages he's on now, which nobody is going to pay. Like, we know he just wants to fall out with United so he can spend the season on his Xbox again. But again, realistically, there's no reason Sancho can't go to Juventus or somewhere, have the season of his life and make it into the World Cup squad. It's unlikely, but he scored a goal in the Europa Conference. He's got some good game time at Chelsea. If he gets his confidence back, gets a club, starts playing well, why can't he make the England squad? That's what we need to tell him. Because if he doesn't join anybody, he is going to be sitting on that bench all season, or maybe not even in the first team squad. Maybe he'll be nowhere near the team, hopefully, which is what he deserves. But we need the money for him. So we've had 4 clubs, Chelsea, Fenerbahce, Juventus and Napoli, all willing to pay for him. And he won't join any of them because of money. Like, from the start when he came back, as soon as I knew he had 1 year on his contract, I said he's going to run it down. He's just going to sit there. We might get a loan if we're lucky to get his wages off the books. But what is he doing? Like, 4 clubs are willing to pay £25 million for him. Even Mourinho wanted him in Turkey, and originally he said Italy was his first choice. So he's had 2 offers from Italy, Napoli and Juventus. And he's not budging on his wages. Like, whoever's advising him in his team need to tell him to sort his stuff out. Personally, I think he's still waiting for the contract to run out so he can potentially get a good signing on fee next season. But he's going to waste a whole year. It's World Cup year. Does he not want to try and be in the England squad? Like, let's be honest. He probably may not be in that team anyway. But he's going to have a lot more chance of being in the England team if he goes to Italy, if he goes to France, if he goes to anywhere. I was going to say Saudi, but maybe not. If he goes to Turkey. If he gets game time, we could see the Sancho from Dortmund. We could see Sancho in an England kit. But while he's holding out for these wages that nobody is going to pay, I don't know where we see him. We see him in the Man United reserves. Hopefully we don't even see him at Carrington. But yeah, what do you guys think? Will Sancho leave before a window closes? Hopefully not on a loan, because I do want to get some good money for him. But yeah, just a little recap before we call it a day, guys. Mbeumo, timescale. Fabrizio has said, hopefully next week. It's not going to be a couple of days like we thought. Originally, we thought it might be the same day. But there's still back and forth about the add-ons, about the installments, about everything, really. So the fee, sorry, not the wage. The fee is set. The add-ons are being discussed when they start, when, you know, all the amounts. As soon as Brentford and Man United agree that, we should see him holding up a shirt. And from there, we can move on to maybe a striker, because it's also being reported that Manchester United are apparently in the pole position to sign Victor Gyokeres. And again, it's not by any of our doing. It's because Arsenal are probably going to go for Sesko. Arsenal have started signing some players now. They're getting the ball rolling. The bank balance is open. And it does seem as if they are favouring Sesko. Van Nistelrooy has been sacked at Leicester. Again, I don't know why they've sacked him now and not when the season ended, like 9 weeks ago when they were relegated. Like, he's potentially wasted the next manager's summer window. They could have been using this time to sign players. Instead, they're sacking a manager. Does not make sense. Douglas Luiz has been linked to us as well as Leeds United. But quite interestingly, we found out that Juventus want £21 million for the player. And at the moment, he's only on £82,000 a week. So his wages are 82k, which compared to some of our players, we could fit four of his wages in one of our players, which is crazy. So if we can get Douglas Luiz at a cost price, is it worth going for? Especially if his wages are cheap. If we don't go for Douglas Luiz, we may go for Edison, who apparently Amorim has given the green light for. He said that's one midfielder he wants. Atalanta want 50 million for him, approximately £42 million. Currently, no issues or no interest, in Onana. Talks with Saudi, but nothing concrete. Monaco, there's no talks there, so it doesn't look as if he's going to move to France. Two potential replacements, Diogo Costa and Emi Martinez. Again, I would take either. Costa's my first choice, but both are better than Onana. Sancho, looks like he's blocking a move to Juve and Napoli. Both clubs are interested, just like Fenerbahce were and Chelsea. But the players' wages are a big stumbling block. So out of all that news, guys, which ones are you most excited to see come into play? If we can sign anyone we've mentioned today, who would you like to see holding up the shirt? For me, it has to be Gyokeres. But don't get me wrong, if we can sign Edison, if we can sign Costa, even if we can sign Emi Martinez or Douglas Luiz, I would take them, because I do think we're in the middle of a big rebuild, and I think they're all players who could potentially work. If there's anybody else we should be linked to that I haven't mentioned, make sure you drop a comment and let me know. But yeah, hopefully going forward, we see Mbeumo very soon. Hopefully it coincides with the away kit release, just so we can see him and Cunha holding up the new kit. Maybe push a few sales for the Glazers. I don't know why, because they're not going to reinvest the money. But yeah, all systems go at the moment. It has been a busy week. There's been lots of talk. If any news breaks, make sure you subscribe to the channel so I can share it with you. And yeah, thank you for watching. I am on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed already, please hit that button. Drop a subscription on the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. Drop a like on this video. I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.